So I've seen skid plates and rotor guards and hand guards and frame guards, but I never expected to break my chain guide in the middle of a trail. I'm going to show you the quick story of how it happened, and then I found two different chain guides that do fit this bike, so I'll give you a brief overview of both of them. It won't be an in-depth review on these, but just two options that you could use if your chain guide breaks. So I was out trail riding at Uwharrie State Park, and I had been riding for 4 or 5 hours, and the only trail that was really left was this one with a sign that says not advised for dirt bikes and ATVs. So of course I thought it'd be real cool to get a picture of my bike near the sign and then head up the trail. And I had been up this trail before, but the only difference about today was I went on a random Wednesday and there was literally no one else at the park. I mean, I was really riding solo. I took a picture in the parking lot of my truck and the bike, and you can see it's the only one here. Normally this parking lot is full and it's hard to find a place to park. Matter of fact, the only two people I ran into were these two women who were taking their horses through the trails. The horses' names were Arthur and Morgan. That's not really true. I just wanted to make a Red Dead Redemption reference.
Arthur, isn't it? Arthur Morgan?
Who are you?
Yes, Arthur Morgan.
Arthur here wanted to race me, but I let him know the KLX has about 20 horsepower. Anyway, I set up off the trail, and the whole thing is just incredibly rocky, tons of loose rock, sharp rocks, jagged rocks. The whole way up, you're going to be going through rocky trails. Everything was going real well though, just picking dirt bike friendly lines and tractoring my way up. I splashed through every mud puddle that I could find because I'm still testing out the Pirelli MT21 Dunlop 606 tire combo. I hit every little jump that I could find, always trying to catch some air. And after about 8 or 9 minutes, I finally made it to the top of the trail, just blazing through all the rocks. Worth it. Watching back the footage, if you listen right here, it sounds like this is the moment where my chain guide bounced off a rock. And then I stopped to enjoy the view. I mean, if you zoom into this picture, you can see the damage on the chain guide. But I didn't even notice it, so I'm just trying to turn around here and head back home. Like I said, I've been riding for about 4 or 5 hours. And right here, if you listen close, you can hear the chain guide snap off. So at this point, I'm up there all alone. There's no one around on the toughest trail in Uwharrie, and my chain is off of the bike. Right now I'm thinking like, oh man, how am I gonna get out of this? Luckily, I had the right tools to take the chain guide off the rest of the way, loosen the tire, and get my chain back on. I'm gonna put out a separate video with tools I think you should take on a solo ride, just in case you ever end up in a situation like this. So if you're interested, please subscribe. But I didn't record any of it because, like I said, it had been about 4 or 5 hours of riding and I was exhausted at that point. So really, I was just trying to get this chain back on and get back home. I even set my GoPro camera up here and I was gonna try to get a cool shot of me riding out after fixing the chain, but it didn't work out. I was out of energy. So I finally got back home, and that leads me here. Looking up new chain guides to put on the KLX 300. There's really only two options that I found, one from TM Designs and one from JFG Racing. The TM Designs one is a little bit more expensive. It's made out of a really thick plastic. JFG Racing, it's cheaper. You can get it on Amazon. It is made out of a metal, which you can tell is like thicker than the stock one. Both of these do fit. I have mounted them before this video. The TMD Designs one, you can just take out these removable pads and mount it on that way, super easy. The JFG Racing one, you have to take your chain apart to run it through here. It's a little bit easier to mount the TM Designs. Another thing to note, the JFG Racing one does not come with hardware. When I mounted it with the hardware from TM Designs. So that's another thing to keep into consideration. If you don't have your original mounting hardware, you'll have to go to the hardware store, and pick some up if you go with the JFG Racing one. I have no idea where my OEM hardware went. I know it's not on the trail because I pack everything with me as I leave, but I couldn't find it when I got home. So This JFG racing one, you'll see online it's listed for a KLX 250, and it even has KLX 250 marking on it, but it fits the KLX 300 just fine, much like a lot of other products that were made for the KLX 250. I think the TM Designs one does a really good job of matching the plastic on the Kawasaki, and then the JFG racing one has the, I think it's called anodized green. You see this a lot on like aftermarket shift levers and brake levers and stuff like that. Like I said, they both will work. I can't really give you a long-term review of them because I just got them. So if you ride rough trails with your KLX 300, be mindful of the chain guide, maybe visually inspect it every now and then to make sure, you know, it's not damaged. And if it is damaged, you might as well go ahead and replace it. I haven't seen this come up much with the KLX 300 owners, so it's just something to keep in mind. All right, so let's do a quick install on the TM Designs one. You're just gonna need a 4mm Allen wrench and a 10mm wrench to get this removable wear pad off, and then you could just slip it over the chain. So once you get your bolts out, you see the replaceable pad just slides right out of the TM Designs. With that replaceable pad off, you just slide it on your chain and it mounts right up to the back here. And the hardware they're provided is an 8mm bolt and a 10mm nut. And these are motorcycle parts. Don't forget a little bit of blue Loctite. Okay, so you have your 3 bolts on, and you're just gonna, of course, need to remount this wear pad as well. All right, so that's how easy it is to install the TM Designs one. So I read on some online forums that TM Design is one of the go-to for enduro riders. I don't really ride enduro, but I do ride some pretty tough trails. So if it'll hold up for the enduro riders, I'm pretty sure it'll hold up for me as well. As far as the JFG racing one of my subscribers, Krusty300, said he has that installed on his bike, and he's had no problems out of it. He's really given it a beating, and it's still holding on for him. So I think they're both pretty reliable. I'll link to both of them in the description so you can check them both out. One thing I am gonna do real quick is get this bike up on a stand and do a quick sound check. I've heard some people say that the TM Designs one is louder than the stock one, but it gets quieter as the pad wears in. So let's give that a shot. You might get a little bit of extra noise from it, but I don't really notice too much. So if you're interested in this type of content, or you're interested in the KLX 300, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Feel free to make fun of me in the comment section as always, and I'll catch you on the next one.